from certain quarters, but added that the federal government has not shown any commitment to resolving their issues. On the foreign scene, the Nelson Mandela Foundation has celebrated the projected defeat of Donald Trump in the United States presidential election and urged President-elect Joe Biden to fix the problems of racism, sexism, xenophobia, and Afrophobia. The foundation said it received the news of the defeat of Trump with a sense of relief, adding that they celebrate the fact that they will not have to watch him undermining democratic institutions. The foundation urged Trump to support what he termed a difficult transition. However, Trump is yet to concede, and Biden's win remains a projection. And that was the news update at 2 on Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, please take responsibility. Wash your hands frequently with soap on the running water. Always have with you at all times alcohol-based and sanitizers. Avoid touching your face and eye contact surfaces to prevent the spread of coronavirus. If you can, work from home. Otherwise, observe social distancing and always wear your facial mask when in a gathering of 2 or more people, because COVID-19 still very much real. However, it is not a death sentence. Good afternoon to you. I am Kala Dakarubantibor. Stay tuned. Interesting conversation coming your way after the break. And of course, stay safe.
Today's news, today's entertainment, today's sports, today's issues. Today on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt.
Driver, if not that Muslim man, me I no go enter this your motor. Because I can't enter that motor with this Muslim.
Madam, I take go baby what to let
me. If this woman enter this car, I go drop. I go drop from this.
I don't want to enter. My child and his child
driver,
is not the same.
I go pay you.
I go
pay you.
Make I do something now.
I go pay you.
Allah, God, go be
I go
the
pay you. I be allergic. I go pay you. No carry that woman. No carry that woman.
Madam, una hear me now. Christian and Muslim, don't be the same Nigeria we be. We be brother and sister now.
No carry that woman. I go pay you. No could they go.
You go pay me.
I go pay you.
Make I go.
Do we need to be guarded by one religion to meet with the Creator? The freedom of worship is a natural right to every being. Why raise arms to drag a man to accept your choice of belief? The spiritual directors now trade the message of salvation for hatred and disrespect of other religions. For all our struggles are aimed at eternity, and choice is the principle of identifying your own God.
Whether Christian or Muslim, we are all one.
Hey, you have a point anyway.
If love is the pathway to eternity, let's walk together as one in love and give respect to a man's choice of worship.
Wallahi, don't worry, I will pay for you. Or your inter, I will pay for you.
This information is brought to you by Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
You can never plan the future by the past. He who has a right to live can bear almost any out. Lost time is never found again. It is the province of knowledge to speak, and it is the privilege of wisdom to listen. I don't take life too seriously. You'll never get out of it alive. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. In the end. It is not the years in your life that counts. It is the life in your years. Count with us. Make it count with us at Today 95.1 FM.
This is today's hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double leverage. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
This is Today's Hustle. One show that embodies objectivity. We raise the bar in examining the good, the bad, the sordid, everything that has to do with society.
In America, you buy a big house and you pay gradually for 30 years of your life. That is politics. In Nigeria, you carry all your salary and go and rent one room. Bad politics.
Everything that has to do with
you
society.
must negotiate. If we don't negotiate, when a man is pushed to the wall, he bounces back with double leverage. We have been pushed to the wall.
The Hustle. Every weekday from
1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
on Today 95.1 FM.
All right, thank you very much for staying tuned to Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. I'm Karadan. Wealth Wilson is with me on the show.
Yep.
All right, as a matter of fact, I think I'm with her on the show. Let's read some of the text messages from the trending stories part, the first part of it, and then we'll move on to the next conversation.
All right, this one says, I like my governor so much because he's proactive, but he overreacted on the issues. We are not talking about that. This one from Melody in Uniport says the destruction of those beer is hypocrite. Hypocritical.
Hypocrism or hypocritical, whichever one.
Kano State currently benefits from the added or value-added tax gotten from beer we drink here in the South. Why don't they reject the money from beer VAT? On U.S. election, the U.S. is still formidable as it is. What we are currently seeing is a reflection of the personality traits of Donald Trump. This one says, okay. All right. Still, I don't know when we talked about the Oyibo issue, but let's see what we have here. This one says, good day, Kalada and Wealth. It's well. CBA has swiftly detected the sponsor of NSAS protests and frozen their account. But Boko Haram sponsors account not frozen. Why are we like this? What about the hoodlums that have government go after them? I cry for my country, Nigeria. These leaders are still taking the youth for a ride. And that's coming from James in Choba. I would quickly look at what we have on WhatsApp and then we move on from there.
You know, we forgot to mention the meeting of the governor with the Southeast governors, you know, and, you know, he was talking about, hey, guys, see, I have nothing against the Igbos. River State is always going to be home for Igbo people and all of that. It's just that, you know, IPOB members were, you know, running out to skelter, yeah.
All right, this one says, good day, Wealth and Kalada. Truth be told, initially the army denied at Lekki shooting. Later they said that they were on the invitation of Sanwo-Olu and that they didn't release any bullets. Upon further interrogation, they said they shot, but it's rubber bullets. Now the recent army account says the protesters were excited when the army arrived, but that the protesters started pelting them after a short while, and that in response they shot into the air to disperse the protesters. What an unintelligible way to fabricate lies. I think if Sanwo-Olu knows what's best for him at the moment of our history, he should heed the call of the PDP and resign. It's high time the government of Major General Muhammadu Buhari, according to you, knows that the use of force will no longer be a tool to achieving peace. The government and the military can continue to fabricate all their lies. At the end, justice will be dispensed to them. Enough is enough of a most incompetent government. That's coming from Unyawaji Fine Face in Ungo Town. All right, then. This one says, we are patiently waiting to see the end of the panel. If anything good will come out of them. Let justice be served to those that need justice. Black should remain as black and let white remain as white. I know what I'm talking about because Nigeria is a country where everything can happen, even in the midnight, from Thank God at Igbo. And lastly, so that we can move on, this one says, good day, the crew. Nigerian military is contradicting itself. Also, the federal government is not handling the NSAS case with caution. It might degenerate again. Matthew Onisono woman Samuel from Ikodi and Geni in Ahoda West. Thank you very much, guys.
All right. Sorry, apologies. The conversation with the Southeast governors was something I was willing to talk about, but he's kind of skipped my head. But let's look at the conversation for the hour, for the now. And the conversation has to do with a story that happened somewhere in Ebonyi State, in Auku local government area. A Fiom community in our Uku local government area of Ebonyi State. As a matter of fact, it was in the market at Inikiri Bernard Village. So what happened? I'm going to narrate the story for you. Now, a 10-year-old boy by the name Ifai was on Saturday, that's this weekend that just passed, thrown into a fire for allegedly stealing a small measure of uncooked rice in the market at Inikiri Bernard Village, Effium community in the Oauku local government area of Ebonyi State. Now, Punch Metro gathered that the lad's mother was late, while his father was mentally challenged. A community source said the boy was thrown into a fire by two traders who accused him of stealing rice from a shop at the market to cook for himself and his father. The chairman of Human Rights Defenders, Ebonyi State Chapter, Mr. Sam Weke, condemned the inhuman act meted out to the kid. He said, URIDE, that's the Human Rights Defenders, Ebonyi State Chapter, got a call from one Mr. George Etameso on the grave abuse of this poor boy. This was because he was caught trying to steal some rice, maybe some carbs, I really would not know, in the village market. Now, they tied him up, threw him into the fire in a refuse dump in the market, and allowed him to roast like a goat. The perpetrators are from the village. After committing this evil and seeing the critical condition of their victim, they still abandoned him to groan to death. It took the intervention of sympathizers to rush him to AMU ROT Hospital in Effium, but due to the severe nature of the injuries, the boy was denied treatment. Efforts were thereafter made to take him to the Alex Ekweme Federal Teaching Hospital at Abakaliki, where he's currently struggling between life and death. Wake added, when we inquired from the perpetrators why they went that far in maltreating the boy, they said he had the habit, underline that now, he had the habit of stealing cassava, yam, and others. So this time they caught him stealing their rice, and they decided to teach him a lesson so that he would not come back to steal their food again. They said it was not their intention to burn his whole body. They said they only tied him up, and after beating him, they tried to roast his toes in the fire, but because he was struggling, he slipped off their hands and fell into the fire and got burnt beyond their expectation. We have reported the incident to the police, the report says. However, the police is claiming that they okay, I should just read it. It's crazy. Now, the state police public relations officer in the state, Mrs. Loveth Oda, said though she was aware of the incident, the police had yet to receive an official complaint on the matter. She said, I heard about the ugly incident as a person. It's painful, but the command has not been officially communicated. We wanted to arrest those who did this evil thing to the small boy, but the attitude of the human rights group, which drew my attention to the incident, is not encouraging. The people told us that we should not arrest them for now because they want them, the perpetrators, to first take care of the boy's medical bills in the hospital. I don't know why they keep doing this, the police PRO said in that very report. Now, a lot of things to look into. Number one, where is social welfare? The boy's mother is dead. His father mentally deranged. Social welfare. Number 2, why are we like this? Why are we wicked? I'm talking about we Nigerians, the mentality. And every day we call government is this, government is that. But are we not a reflection of the government? Number 2. So why would you? Probably they know, because they say this is not the first time they've caught him stealing their cassava, stealing their yam. So they know that this boy steals. And then the question will be, why do they probably would know that he's stealing to go cook for his father and for himself because he's just 10 years old.
There's just 2 things I'm going to say. Number 1, the government have failed that young man. And number 2, the society, the people within his immediate society have also failed him. Because look at the circumstances surrounding his story. Dead mother, deranged father. Apparently he's left to fend for himself at 10 years.
At 10 years. Why would you let the deranged father take care of a 10-year-old?
So where is the social welfare where the state takes care of children or takes this kind of children into their coffers and handle whatever have to do with them until they are, old enough to want to, find a life for themselves? The state has failed that young man or that young child. And that's the truth of the matter. Before I go on to even talk about the society and the people within his immediate society failing him, let's hammer on the state. How many times do we see government officials patrolling within this the slums of the state to find out what parents or what persons are being negligent of their children? We don't see that happen. That's why we see a lot of these young children walking around aimlessly.
Have you seen a lot of them here, very close to the office, the Alakaya Junction area?
True.
You've seen a lot of them.
True.
At one time, I was forced to stop, and I took the boy some nearby restaurant, bought him food. I wanted to know where he stayed. I wanted to take the matter up, but the boy was not even willing because it looks as if they make more money.
Those children are supposed to be children of the state. So where is the state government? What are you doing to protect those children that are supposed to be in your care?
Now, let me shock you. That same boy I saw at the Lokaya Junction, that boy is barely 10 years old. I saw him one day in the evening on my way back from church, weekday like this, at location bar at the George, still doing the same thing, looking for who's going to buy him food, who's going to, give him something. And they look very tattered. They look very dirty. They look like they don't even go to school. And yet, where is social welfare and all of these things?
It's really sad, honestly. That's why I want to hammer on the fact that the government of that state and every other state have failed those children. And before you know it, these children grow up on their own, on the streets, and before you know it, they are hoodlums, they're thugs, they're constituting nuisance everywhere.
And then when you want to protest, they come out with big 4x4 planks and they destroy things and they tell you can't protest or they take advantage of the protest.
I mean, in other societies, when you travel outside the country, you have people, neighbors, call for child support when they see that the parents are defaulting.
Not even when they are mentally deranged. When they are defaulting. Just
a little act of negligence and you lose your child. Because these children are children of the state until a certain age. But it doesn't happen here.
You flog your child and you lose your child.
Honestly. And then you wonder, is it that we cannot emulate those kind of things? I mean, we want to talk like them, we want to dress like them, we want to act like them, but we don't want to do the things that they do to make their own society much better than ours.
No. Well, do you realize that this is just one scenario? There are scenarios, for instance, where somebody is incarcerated and there's nobody to take care of those children, and those children are meant to fend for themselves. So they are on the street at an early age, seeing all the atrocities done on the streets.
For what it is worth, I know that when a young child's father or mother is being arrested, detained, or even sentenced, the government takes responsibility of the child.
The government should. Let's use the
should take responsibility
vocabulary,
of that child.
Yeah.
But does it happen here? Now, let's say the government is a total negligent one. They don't know what to do.
That is not to say we have a negligent government.
Now, let's assume. That's why I said let's assume.
I'm explaining for them.
Because we have to really. Now, let's assume that is the scenario with the government. Now, what about the people? We are very religious. Somebody called in to tell me that I should not talk about alcohol in the eyes of God or whoever.
God. Yeah.
Because it is not good for us. It's against our religion. We are very religious people, but look around us. Just take your time and evaluate our immediate environment.
Let's switch gears now. Let's take it a notch higher. You talk about government failing, and I do agree with you 100%. But you see, even we, the people, you and I, you have not been taken care of. When I say you and I, I'm talking about people that can demand from the government. We've not been well taken care of. Talk more of those people who do not know their left from their right. Why do we have the government-owned orphanages? Why do we have all those less privileged homes in society? We do have in River State, for instance. So why are we not seeing these children? If you see a child on the streets, by the child labor laws or child laws, whatever laws that we have on children, you're supposed to even take that child into custody and then look for the parents and arrest the parents. Now you have a mentally deranged person taking care. What's wrong with our system? But let's move on. What's wrong with you and I? How can you see a child who is hungry? When you're hungry, when you don't have money and you're hungry, how do you behave? You behave like you want to scatter everywhere. You understand? You know what they say. The hungry man is hungry. Then you see a child who has not even got the maturity of an adult, who's hungry. What do you expect him to do? I'm not saying stealing is right.
No, we've not even gotten to that point. I think we're still addressing man's inhumanity to man.
All right.
As I said, and I would also still mention, we are a very religious, hyper-religious people. We are very fanatical when it comes to our religion and serving the Lord and doing the will of God and Allah.
Preach on, sister.
But then we seem to always choose which part of the God's words we want to really listen to. Don't drink beer and get high.
And forget the part where it says if you give to the poor, you've lent God some money or some food.
Whatsoever you do to the least of your brothers, that you do unto me. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. There's a part that says when you give to the poor, you give to God. So God is indebted to you. It's in the Bible. So yeah.
Well, I think that we are very selective religious people. We choose which part of the Bible we want to listen to. We're talking about indecent dressing, but you cannot look. You see a little child, and then the child is starving or begging, and you push them away.
And let's localize this now. We see them a lot here in River State. The people who, if you're driving by Adajud, for instance, the people who clean the windshield, if you're driving by a bar road when we did not have all the constructions going on, the very young people, and I cry every time I see them. There's not much I can do. How much do I even have? If I every time I drive by there, I give money, would I still have money to come to work? But the point is, we have Nigerians who see them on a daily and do nothing about it. Same boys decide to go, and yet again, stealing is wrong. But imagine the same boys decide, okay, I'm tired. There is nothing coming. And then they decide to go steal a bag of rice. Then, society becomes unsettling for everyone who lives therein.
So, as I said, I want to believe that the government have failed. The people also have failed. Now, the truth is, I don't want to talk about the fact that these children have to resort to their last options, which is stealing and constituting nuisance or even becoming tools in the hands of certain persons and all of that, or become very vulnerable to young people or people who would kidnap and even use them for whatever ritual purposes and all of that. Now, that's still part of society and the government as well. Now, imagine a scenario where we have a government that is proactive, a government that understands that its responsibilities to the people, whether young or old. Now, where we have a situation where the government institutes an organization that goes on to look for children who do not have parents, who have been neglected by their parents, who probably are lost or wandering and all of that. Take care of those children until a certain age, or work hand in hand with NGOs and motherless babies or baby homes or care homes, whatever.
All right.
Just to keep these children in check. Give them education while they're there. Take care of their basic necessities and then make sure that maybe in the next 15, 18, 20 years, these kids are, knowledgeable enough and they can go out there and source out things for themselves. Now, imagine that's the scenario. Do you think we would have a lot of these children fall into becoming prey to society, or even becoming thieves, or becoming thugs? It would have drastically reduced. Now let's move on to, yes, maybe there's a negligence there, and go to the people. Now we see that the government probably do not have these organizations or institutions stationed in this area, right? But the people...
What institutions are you talking about? Social welfare?
Yes.
We have social. We have the Ministry of Social Welfare in every state. Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying. Just supposing these people, or this organization or institutions that are supposed to be organized by the government and not functional. Now, how do we as a people move from this position where we are into becoming better people?
Yeah. But you see, why I pause you and why I'm going to pause you again is because the picture to tell you they're functional, and I want to tell you how functional they are. When it comes to, for instance, in River State now, with the old COVID-19 wedding protocols and all, who do you think? Who do you think is social welfare? Who do you think handles it? But then again, like I said, we have kids out there who are not yet 18, who are not yet legally allowed to be on the street all by themselves, out on the streets, and we see nothing. We have laws against hawking, for instance. Let's even use hawking. We have, laws against it. How many times have we seen the parents of those children arrested? And these are the issues.
Now,
these are the issues.
Let's talk about jungle justice, because that's pretty much what happened to the 10-year-old. Now, whoever and wherever did we get the right to exert justice or try to persecute people that are defaulting by burning them?
Burning someone alive is something.
Burning them,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
That's how we. Oh my goodness.
And I hear the guy, the 10-year-old boy, struggling for his life, and I can imagine what he's going through right now.
So what happened to sending him to the police station?
Or
taking him to your local chief to be reprimanded or something like that.
Local chief will work, but he's 10 years old, so you can't even take it. I mean, the police wouldn't even do. See, that's the problem. He's not even rife. It's not even, okay, maybe ripe is not, it's not ripe for a juvenile prison. It's not even ripe for a juvenile.
Maybe if they've taken him to the police station would have, taken him to whatever child services are available there.
Okay.
Now, if that's not an option for you, what happened to your local chiefs? That's what they're there for.
All right, yeah, you have a point.
But you decide that you know better, and you're God's hands on earth.
I mean, the traditional rulers would have been able to maybe come up with some, because his father is, deranged. They would have been able to come up with, what do you call it now? They would have been able to come up with, some kind of way to train the child. You know what they say in our parables, African parables, that it is a community that does raise their child.
Or they give him out to somebody that would keep watch over him, because I see that happen sometimes in certain communities where the chiefs give a child to a certain person and say, you know what, take care of this child. This child is in your control.
It's just sad, and it's just such a sad story. And so, we decided to talk about it on the show this afternoon. But there's an angle that we've left out, and we're just going to quickly touch on it and then open the phone lines. The police, they're waiting for an official complaint. Should that be the case? We've just talked about social welfare not doing enough in Ebonyi State. And we still see glimpses of it here in River State. Let's be frank. We see those boys on the streets, and we're trying to personalize this conversation now. The police is saying they're waiting for some petition or some, formal complaint. Should that be the case? Should the state, which the police is a part of, not quickly spring into action to comprehend the perpetrators? One reason being that jungle justice should be stopped. The police should make it known that they are the ones legally authorized to carry out such. Even the police cannot do jungle justice. Why did we go out to the streets to do NSAS protests, right? So the point is, only the police has got the right to arrest. Okay, not only the police, but arrest, investigate, prosecute. Only the police has got the right to do that. You can arrest as a citizen, but you cannot investigate and prosecute. The police will do all of that. So the point is, they would have arrested the boy, taken him to the police like you said, but the police is not even going ahead to make that statement, and that's a confusion for me. The police should be out there trying to make people understand that this is the work of the police. You can't burn a child. You can't even try to burn his toe. It's wrong in all entirety. And I don't know. I like to see how this story plays out. 25 minutes left on the clock. I think Welt and I, we've exhausted our is it disbelief? I don't want to use certain words, so it doesn't make it look like we're unprofessional about it. But our disbelief will be proper language, proper vocabulary for it. So you call in and tell me what you think. Plenty questions. Why is the structure not helping young people? And I know you're seeing a lot of young people on the streets. And let's begin to share our stories on the show so government can hear us, because we know that even here in River State, a lot of young people, underage children, out there on the streets all by themselves, neglected by their parents intentionally or unintentionally. And yeah, by the way, I'll tell you about a story of a boy who used to be at Inkolu Junction loading, loading
vehicles?
taxis. Yeah, loading vehicles. And that boy was he wasn't even up to 15. He wasn't even up to 15. And he wasn't going to school. His dad had, abandoned him, disowned him or some stuff, said he was a naughty boy and all. And the boy was all by himself. And then he was staying with someone in some place like that, and whatever money he made, he would have to take it back to the family, and then he would have to give it back to the family. A friend of mine, she had to take him. I don't know if she's still with him, but she had to take him in for a while. And then when she took him to the father said he doesn't want anything to do with the boy. And so a lot of these boys are out there. A lot of them are out there, and I'm wondering, why is the structure like that? And then why are we so indifferent? Why can't we? I mean, we talk about love, we talk about religion, we talk about all these nice things, but why can't we really watch out, for the next person, especially those children who are out there on the streets all by themselves? And of course, what do you make of the police in Ebonyi State saying, we're waiting for a formal complaint? The phone lines are open: 0817 000 951, 0810 9510 951. Your text messages to the number 0701 933 9962. Let the conversations begin right about now. With you, sharing your thoughts on this very conversation now, yeah? 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from River State.
All right. What's your name?
Port Harcourt. My name is AB.
Your name is what?
AB10.
All right, AB10, welcome.
So why are you people wasting time talking every time on regular?
Interesting.
Wealth and what is his name?
Kalada.
Yeah, colleague there, Kalada. I don't know why you people are just wasting your time talking, thinking you are making sense. Both of you are talking as if you don't have tongue in your mouth.
All right.
You're supporting the military men, right? We are coming, we will protest. After protesting, after all, we are going to protest.
Interesting.
You guys there.
Interesting.
You evil people.
All right.
How did that even relate?
That was really interesting. Really very interesting.
No, I felt like we should have let her,
she cut herself.
She did.
After calling us evil people, then she let it go. Did you support the military people? I'm trying to understand.
So for 30 minutes, I've been talking about a 10-year-old. And somehow somebody was hearing military the whole time.
Oh my
it's
God.
Beautiful.
It's very beautiful. But keep your calls coming in 0817 000 951 and 0810 951 951. And then send in your text messages to the number 0701 933 9962. A good way to come back on air, by the way. A good way. And by the way, times if you're listening, if you're matching to what they call it, Astro Rock, please be careful, because like we already mentioned, it's very sensitive out there. But let's go back to the phone line, sir. And fine, go on the phone. What's your name?
Good afternoon, sir. It's Poliman from Elalini.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right, welcome. Talk to me.
Thank you for the topic you brought out now.
All right.
You are talking of the helpless people in the society. Let me tell you, the one you are talking now is the one you just see. I've witnessed it several times. There are small boys and young girls and boys just dress up thinking they are going to somewhere. They are just hiding somewhere. They are waiting when somebody will pass. Immediately you pass, they will just run after you. They will begin to beg you, sir, I'm going to determine this now. You buy the bread, the $50. And I've done it to people several times. That these things could go to increase up to date. That is now behind. Now let me ask you, sir. Are you aware that there are people in this country cannot access their health care? They go to the work where they just make like 200 naira, or they just make nothing for the day. They come back sleeping with devastated head. And they can't go to hospital because there is no money. And the sickness keeps on increasing. And one day you don't hear that this man was just going in the road or this was just collapsed there. And let me tell you, Nigeria is a disappointed nation.
All right.
Sometimes like this, I don't see that this country can no longer have remedy any longer.
All right, but we still will try. Still will try to remedy it. Still will try, despite all the challenges we have. Still will try to bring solutions.
Let me tell you. See, we have offended ourselves, and we offended God. And sometimes I also see that
God is a forgiving God.
God is a forgiving God, but in most cases, God will not forgive you. And don't you think that God may no longer forgive Nigeria any longer?
God is a forgiving God. But thank you. We're not doing scriptures now, but thank you very much for calling in. God is a forgiving God, and that's that. 95.1 FM. What's your name?
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon. I'm Chima, calling from Port Harcourt.
You're welcome, Chima.
Kalada, let me apologize on behalf of that lady. I think it's a misconception.
All right,
we really actually know what people are talking about. And Kalada, I think with what I've seen, there's a failure on the Nigeria and the society at large. I think we have told that young little lad. You understand? Even the people who actually committed, did that to him, I think it is wrong. You understand? That boy, they know the condition and they kind of thing he stole. I think they say he stole cassava or something. Hello?
A couple of it's unspecified, but a small portion of rice. A small portion of rice.
And that was with what he has, according to the accused, what he has told. I think he's out of hungry or whatever because of the condition that he finds himself. I think it's a failure of the society. Right. And the welfare, I think we have welfare in Nigeria. Are they not working? You understand? When you see such kind of people, I mean, it behooves on the welfare to take proper care of them so that they can come at a particular age where they will come up, then they, where they can fend for themselves. So the little boy was corrupted by the failure of the society. You understand? If not, he wouldn't have done, do what he did. You understand? So I think even the people, most of us who talk about government, Canada, who complain of Buhari, senators, if they find some of them, but I'm definitely not one of them. If they find themselves in a place where the same senators, I think they will do what? How on earth will somebody who sees a young boy who stole, and you knew that this young boy is hungry, you want to you put it to that extent, burn him beyond recognition? I think it's unfortunate, Canada.
All right,
Chima. It's unfortunate.
All right.
We must change our attitude, honestly. Thank you very much.
I know it's easy for us to say we must change our attitude, but if it's your cup of rice, if it's your tuber of yam, if it's your tuber of cassava,
we've all had children once in a while take what they're not supposed to take, either because you've asked them not to or because they're just very stubborn and all of that. Do we burn our children when they do that?
Interesting.
We don't. Now that's why I brought up the issue of taking the child to the chiefs around. The traditional rulers. I mean, that's what they said they used to do back in the day, isn't it? And sometimes it's still being practiced till date. So what happened to taking him to maybe a relative or simply just spanking him? I mean, we're fond of spanking people. What happened to spanking him there?
Or
Or even scolding him.
Not even scolding, finding solution to the problem because he's going to be hungry the next day.
Or,
and he's going to be hungry the next
after
day.
scolding him or spanking him, you collect what he had stolen and then you give him something that he can take back home with and tell him, don't do it next time because...
It's like you like spanking a lot. That's why they say you're supporting.
No,
supporting the military.
in Africa, we know that spanking is like the next resort whenever a child does something wrong.
Okay. But I still think that's why they say you're supporting the military. 95.1 FM. What's your name? Sorry? All right, welcome.
My brother, your colleague,
sorry?
You see, sir, I'm very sorry for what that lady did.
No, it's all good.
Fine.
It's all good. We're laughing about it. It's fine. It's all good. Some days are like that. It's fine.
Father, the problem that in this country we are suffering for our energy. You understand? Because most of us now we like blaming the center. But the majority of our problem, like with the state governors, 70% of our problem governors, because they are the government.
I say it couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 cups of rice.
It's very bad. And I like to see anytime people abuse the press, I feel pain, honestly. I don't like it because I hope like this is a program. I don't know. I've been listening to it. Actually, I don't know really, but just like the last caller said, we most times we just generalize, say government, Nigerians. No, the group.
Peroni Junction, where there's usually slow traffic, so that cars can move from the intersections, all of the, you get what I'm talking about. You see boys rush up to your windscreen and they try to polish it for you so that you give them a little bit of money. Those are boys who are not even up to 18, struggling to find a way for themselves. And these are the issues. Society is not paying attention. So we say Nigerians, we generalize it because almost everybody sees those people or see these people on the road and does nothing, or rather do nothing about it.
The problem is that, you understand, people just give birth. They just want to give birth. They don't give no provision, no arrangement to take care of their children. These people, it is people who make those babies and all that, and now they are going to, no, they don't want to take care of them. Okay. How do you bring a child into the world and then you don't want to take care of the child?
Okay.
Yes, I blame some parents.
But Lawson, you remember we also say that our community, everybody takes care of everybody's child, right, or children.
Yeah, the community.
So when did we lose that touch?
The community raises the child,
Now, Nigeria, yes, it used to be like that, but all of that has changed. Times are hard, times are difficult. People want to keep their little resources and manage with it. Times are very hard in Nigeria. In fact, the prices of things right now, I can tell you, I don't even know what to say.
But does that take away our humanity?
No, it cannot take. Look, you can make sacrifice of what you have. Can you make sacrifice of what you don't have? Really? You can't make sacrifice of what you don't have. You yourself, you are even managing to survive. You have not even been able to survive. You cannot drag another person to yourself and all that.
So what about we call the government, like you said, not always the center, but the local government, the state government, and make sure that the social welfare ministries therein, can actually do something very, very meaningful for the children out on the streets.
Yes, they can do something now, but even we have even places, you understand? But even if you go there, even if we have, I think we have places like that in Port Harcourt. Even if you go there, there's nothing there to eat. You understand? There's nothing that who will bring the money. They have the homes, those homes, but there's no food there. Right. So even if you take them to I remember once Kofi Batel and all that, he was into this thing big time. He managed to even take some of them to those homes, and then they still left the homes and back to the streets because there is nothing to eat there. But to a 10-year-old boy just took some. I am very sure he just a few cups of rice.
Of course.
And then you treat him like that. That's why I say it is not. I cannot. Rather, I will even delete to maybe if there is, I will give to him.
All right, then.
And then you go and put him inside fire like that.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Some things are not good, really.
All right, thank you.
I don't know, but yes, government has some part of the blame today, but we the people, we should also try.
the level of proliferation of children in Nigeria is too much.
All right, thank you
It's
very
too
much.
much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lawson there. Thank you very much. Let's read some of the text and messages if we have any. That's after this call.
I'm calling for Port Harcourt.
Welcome.
Yeah, you know, in Nigeria, or this is tradition, everybody now is minding. There is a adage that say mind their business. So you see that little boy now that did that thing. If it were when the boy was struggling on the ground to give up to this, nobody will come and touch him. No. Maybe you are walking on the road, you see somebody that is malingering, maybe a lady or something like that. You see everybody will run away. Or nobody know what happened to the guy at the junction. You see how people will adapt to that. Anything that concerns evil things, that is what some Nigerians are after. You see them. But it go when it happens, help this boy don't have anything to eat. You will not see government. You will not, and if you try to still help these guys, you see what government do to you. So everybody in this country now is talking about mind their business. See, to me, at times, I feel about myself. I do have some of them. Sometimes in my freezer, there are some soup that will be there. Spoil. But because of the way the country now is, you can't even give food to your neighbor child without to have they don't greet anybody like that. It's not good.
All right. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much there. Thank you very much there. Let's read some text messages now.
All right. This one says, as she began narrating the ugly and sad story, tears rolled down my cheeks as I couldn't believe my eyes. How on earth can a man be so wicked and cruel to his fellow? That's coming from Prince. Even Wells did what?
You're about crying. I think I did not notice. All right, go ahead.
All right, this one says, good afternoon to you all. I'm a bearing drawing from PH. The issue of child labor and the blame goes to the father of those children. If you know as a man that you cannot take care of your children, do not bring them into this world
to
suffer.
In this case, the man is mentally challenged.
And the mother isn't alive.
The mother is dead. So what are you talking about?
All right, this one says, same set of people protesting against brutality. We are just a wicked sect. We're just a set of wicked souls, no love. That's coming from Vili DK. The truth is, there's this song, I can't remember, I think sung by Simi, Remind Me. You know, that's the song that plays in my head, you know, when Lawson was talking. We've forgotten how to try,
Do you have it in your playlist?
I think I do.
Yeah, we should play it before we leave.
All right, this one is from, well, Philson, you're doing well. Okay, thank you. From PH Boy.
He did not put on.
But thank you anyway. This one says the incident in Ebonyi State is a true reflection of what Nigeria is, even though we have always tried to cover it up. All these anomalies will continue until the time when we have leaders that will use the elective or collective resources of the state for the good of all, as against rulers we have at the moment who use our collective resources for the selfish interest. Interest, that is. And that's coming from 2 Timothy in PH. This one says the idea of jungle justice was initiated since police do not do the right judgment on supposed criminals. They collect money and let them go, but they judge.
All right, so for a 10-year-old...
I mean, that was the best thing we could have done. Really.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you know that it wasn't even a bag of rice he stole.
As in...
It wasn't a bag of rice, just to clear that.
As in...
All right, this one says... good afternoon, Kalada and Wealth. I don't know when Nigerians will stop taking the laws into their hands. The government is lawless. The people are also lawless.
We
mirror each other.
That guy just captured my...
we mirror each other.
Captured my
This one says, where do we go from here? I've been asking myself the same question. Says, well, since those that did the injustice to the 10-year-old boy didn't intend to have him burnt beyond the outcome, the law too will not intend to have them incarcerated beyond what they would... I couldn't continue. I'm sorry. Beyond what will be their life imprisonment. That's what they deserve. Life imprisonment. And that's coming from Onyawaji Fine Face in Ngo Town. And quickly, still on WhatsApp, this one. Okay, your message hasn't arrived yet. This one says, good afternoon to you all. I'm Fabian. I had expected to hear a song like Try a Little Kindness by Miriam McKay on the background while the discourse went on.
We'll do remind.
We're going to play a song now.
Let's remind you now. We would
Okay,
remind
you have it now?
I'm going to search for it. I'm going to put it on the system now. We would remind you of how good you should be. We should be good people. And see, this is not Ebonyi State, so we cannot really say we are blaming anybody personally on a personal level. But we want to bring this, or we decided to bring this conversation to you so that you can look, you can open your eyes and look around you and see a lot of young boy in your immediate environment.
In our environment, we don't necessarily need to burn any child. All we do is have to ignore them.
Yeah.
We're also burning
No,
them.
not ignoring them. You're taking responsibility for them.
That's the thing.
Okay.
As we ignore them, it's equivalent to what had happened to this 10-year-old. So I do think that the truth is, no matter how hard things are, I mean, somebody mentioned that the economy is hard, life is getting harder by the day. But then, do you forget to try to help your families? Or do you forget to help your friends when they are in need, despite the hard economic situation? No. So extend that kindness.
All right.
Let's learn again to be kind and loving people.
Try some little kindness. Okay, I'm very terrible at singing. So I'm going to leave you with the song. We're going to say our goodbyes just now. 2 minutes left on the clock. And very soon the sports school will be stepping in to bring you to the Sports Live Wealth. It's been amazing It's been amazing having you on the show or being back on the show. I think I've talked too much. I should go back home already. All right, see me with is that Remember Me?
Remind Me.
Oh, Remind Me. All right, then.
I forgot totally. My brother say he love me, I love him too. My man call me honey, I call him boo. But my neighbor no like me, I hate him too. A man call me stupid, I call him fool. 'Cause I forgot how to love the way you asked me to. Remind me how to love. To love. I forgot how to give those who are in need. So selfish of me. Even when it got too hard for me to care, I forgot how to try. My baby says she hungry, I give her food. I tell her I will do anything for you. But a stranger say, please, I no get you. I look am like this, say, who are you? 'Cause I forgot how to love the way you asked me to. Remind me how to love.
Sunshine or rain, through every terrain.
Everywhere I turn, it's football, football.
So why not join in the action, intrigues, excitement, and fun?
Just doesn't get better than this.
Many stars have continued to shine with every ace, every race, every break, and every other sports there is.
Incredible stuff.
On today's Sports Live, reaching you from your premium news, talk, and sports radio station, Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
That sounds like so much fun.
Weekdays after the news at 3. It's interactive, it's engaging, and don't forget, your voice is priority.
Hello, my name is Kanwanko, aka Papilo. For the latest and trending sports stories, always listen to Today Sports Live on Today 95.1 FM Port Harcourt.
You know, there are a few areas that define a man, like sports.
I think we can live with that.
Beautiful afternoon to you. Welcome to today's Sports Life on Today95.1 FM right here in Port Harcourt. My name is Wisdom Obina. And well, I'll be leading the proceedings as it's been like this on Mondays for a very long time. But I'm not alone in the building. I'm not usually alone. I don't work alone like Liverpool. I work with a team. Emeka is here, the Odogu one of sports. Emeka Dena joins us here in the building. Emeka, welcome to the show.
Superman, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to our listeners out there. The last time we heard from Amaju Pinnick, he said he was still consulting, but I can assure the fans now that the consultation is over. He has decided what to do regarding his next political move in African football, or even global football as it were.
All right, and next to him is the Chief Justice of Sports, Chidubem Njoko. Chidubem, welcome to the show.
Yeah, it feels like we have a billionaire who's going to be coming into CAF. And I don't know if it's good news, but just stick around and listen, find out the details.
All right.
Good afternoon, Port Harcourt. Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good to be here.
All right. We'll start off with tennis. There's the big story, but we'll start off with tennis. We'll just touch what happened in France. Rafael Nadal continues to dream for a first Paris Masters title as Daniil Medvedev triumphed over Alexander Zverev in France. Now, coming to what the guys were talking about, there is Pinnick on the show this afternoon. We are talking about him. And there is one man who, if you follow Forbes, the Forbes list, you would know him. Patrice Motsepe. He's Africa's 10th richest man. Guess what? He's interested in the highest position of authority when it comes to football in Africa, the CAF presidency. And he's entering the race. Ahmad is somewhere. What does this mean for African football? And where do you stand? Do you think it's good news? Like Chidubem said, he doesn't know whether it's good news or not. But do you think that's good news? Now, on the other side, Amaju Pinnick has finally told us what he wants to do next. He has thrown his own weight, Patrice Motsepe, and really because there's another name too, Jack Anoma, yes, an Ivorian who is also part of the list. We'll talk about that and also get to hear your thoughts. We'll not also forget to get to Europe, where Man City and Liverpool shared the points. Why Carlos Soler? Well, he became the first player of this century to score 3 penalty kicks in one game, as Valencia did beat Real Madrid 4-1. We'll bring you all the major results, even coming from Germany, Italy, where Victor Osimhen managed to help Napoli get all 3 points. The show is packaged to be interactive, so we encourage you to be part of it by hitting us on any of our interactive platforms. For SMS or WhatsApp, it's 0701 9339 962. I'll take it again, 0701 9339 962. On Twitter, you can tweet at us at TodayFM951. That is at the championship match was 13 months ago when he beat Zverev in straight sets at the Shanghai Masters. This was a more competitive affair, at least in the opening hour, but it was Medvedev who triumphed 5-7, 6-4, 6-1 to lift his 8th career title. He's the 4th Russian to win the tournament after Marat Safin, Nikolai Davydenko, and Karen Khachanov. Medvedev had lost 5 times in 8 matches in the build-up to this event, but has found form on the hard courts of the French capital, dropping just 1 set en route to the final. I'll start with you, Chidubem. Not the finest of years for Daniil Medvedev, but it's ending well, right? Or it has ended well?
Well, you could say so. It has ended well. Perhaps you see if he can get maybe something else, something better for himself next year. But for this year, well, you want to say it was a rough start to the year and a good way to end it, especially when you get a victory against your rival, Alexander Zverev, someone who he beat the last time he faced him. So I think for now, you should just cherish the victory, and it should be an inspiration to go into the next year, because this year is gone already, and it's a year to forget for Daniil Medvedev. But amongst the 4 of them, I'll call them the most inconsistent, or the most consistent inconsistent bunch outside the top 3. The Daniil Medvedev, Alexander Zverev, Dominic Thiem, as well as Stefanos Tsitsipas. They look like the 4 that can just creep into or take charge of tennis when the big 3, these guys. And But good one for him, good one for Russia. The fourth man now to win the Paris Masters. Yeah, so it's a good one for his career. Let's see how far he can take this up from here. But the consistency has always been the issue.
Emeka, what does it profit Alexander Zverev to beat Nadal and crash out at the end of the day?
Ordinarily, you think when you beat the top seed and the overwhelming favorite, in a tournament, you're most likely going to get the title. But that was not the case for Zverev, and eventually was beaten in the final by Medvedev. Medvedev he lost the first set, meaning that Zverev actually won the first set.
7-5.
He came back strongly to eventually win in 3 sets. A bit setback for him, but that notwithstanding, getting to the final alone, I think is brilliant. He's one of the players that I've enjoyed the restart. Let's not forget, he played in the final of the US Open, losing to Dominic Thiem in the 5-setter after winning 2 sets up. He also won back-to-back tournaments in Cologne, Germany, his native Germany there before the Paris Masters. Unfortunately, he couldn't get his hand to the title yesterday. He will live to fight another day. Let's not forget the ATP finals is coming up next week in London. He's there. Medvedev is equally there. Maybe they might even eventually meet again. Let's see how it pans out. The tournament is reserved for the top 8 players in the rankings, and both of them are already through to that tournament. And definitely he would have wanted the title, but it wasn't to be. Yeah.
Well, let me come to you, Dubem. Does Nadal need to win this particular tournament to prove any point?
What point is he trying to prove? The question, I don't think there's anything to prove for Rafael Nadal. I mean, we are not talking about winning the Grand Slam. Perhaps there would have been a point if he had won just 3 of the 4 Grand Slams and there was one left that he hadn't won. So maybe talks will now be about, okay, now win the last one. If he hadn't won the US Open, they say you've won the other 3, you haven't won the US Open. That would have been a major shout. But this time around, he's won all the Grand Slams the last time I checked. So I don't think there's any major thing to prove. He has 20 Grand Slams, for crying out loud. I don't think a man that has posted that kind of performance, 1,000 ATP victories, you cannot question the quality of that man on any grounds. He's up there and he's up there. You just have to accept it. It's like what happens in football with Lionel Messi, and people say, oh, you have to win the World Cup before we say you're a great player and all that. He's done so much that I don't think a mere Paris Masters. It's not even as okay. We can't take it to that level of the Grand Slams. They are not at par. Yes, it's something he would have loved to win. Definitely, for the fact that he's always participated and somehow he doesn't manage to win it. It would have been good for his career. But I don't think not winning the Paris Masters would be something huge enough to now bring add a dent on his image. No, he's up there. He's up there. He's done so much. And the good he has done, or the much he has done, is just, there are too many to now overlook them because of a mere Paris Master. I'm sorry to say he's mere, but compared to a Grand Slam, it is chicken change, like they say.
Djokovic will always have the bragging right over him. As far as the Masters event is concerned, Djokovic has got 36 Masters titles. Nadal is one short on 35, and Djokovic has won all the Masters event at least once. Nadal cannot boast of any title in Paris, in spite of the fact that he has won 35 Masters titles. So at the end of the day, I think somehow Djokovic has got advantage. Now, you remember Djokovic last time was telling us that his own dream in this world now is to be the player that spends the most time on the rankings, on the top of the rankings. Something at the moment that is being enjoyed by Roger Federer. But Djokovic is closing in. By March next year, if he remains world number 1, he will set the new record. So some players will want some records in some kind of events or maybe some kind of ways there. He's not keen about becoming the player with the most Grand Slams, which we know is the biggest of them all in terms of titles out there in the tennis world. But no big deal for me. No big deal. It only shows that Nadal. Paris Masters has not been his favorite hunting ground. Let's not forget, this man has got over 10 Monte Carlo Masters titles. He has won about 8 or 9 in Madrid, and about 8 as well in Rome Masters. So what he couldn't achieve in Paris, he has achieved in other Masters events. He's won both the Miami Masters and the other one in New York as well. It was in Indian Wells Masters. So at the end of the day, I'm sure is inconsequential compared to what he has achieved, like Chidubem pointed out. But as a player, as a sportsman, you want to grab all the available records. If you ask Lionel Messi today, he will tell you that is if he eventually retires without winning the World Cup, that would definitely be
he could exchange three championships.
Maybe all of them, maybe all the Champions League titles with Barcelona for the World Cup.
The World Cup is really huge.
That's where the legends made their name. The Peles of this world, the Maradonas of this world.
The height of it all.
Definitely. So, but Nadal has already achieved the biggest of them all. The Grand Slam, 20 of them. He won an Olympic gold, let's not forget, in 2008. Something both Federer and Djokovic cannot boast of at the moment.
All right. Well, I'm not sure would get to delve into tennis like we have done today till Sunday when the ATP finals will be kick-starting. Who are you tipping? Okay, your favorite, not because if I say favorite, the number one on the list probably should be standing as Novak Djokovic. But for you, Chidubem, who are you picking for this one?
It has to be Djokovic. He's a man on fire, and Nadal has never really been good with the ATPs. So I think Djokovic should be the man to take it this time.
Emeka?
I won't be surprised if any other player picks it. Stefano Tsitsipas is the defending champion. He's in for this one. Dominic Thiem has rested very well. He says he's playing as well. Remember, he's the US Open champion. Nadal is going there as well. Let's see. But, it's difficult to choose, a player outside Djokovic, to be honest. It's difficult. But, I think a surprise can happen. But I will still go with Novak Djokovic.
All right, let's move on to CAF. South African Patrice Motsepe, one of Africa's richest men, has announced his intention to become the next president of the Confederation of African Football. The chairman of 2016 African Club Champions Mamelodi Sundowns becomes the third person to bid for the role after incumbent Ahmad and Jack Anuma of Ivory Coast. Motsepe is Africa's 10th richest man, according to Forbes magazine, which estimates his wealth at $2.4 billion. CAF must, in quotes now, quoting Danny Jordan now, CAF must improve its global standing, said South African FA President Danny Jordan. He's the most appropriate person we could offer for the leadership of CAF. We do not want any compromise on governance or ethics in football. Motsepe, who is in quarantine at home after contracting COVID-19, according to Jordan, was not present at today's press conference in Johannesburg to announce his bid, with Jordan, flanked by South Africa Sports Minister Nathi Nthetwa, doing so instead. Now, in a related development, NFF President Amaju Pinnick of Nigeria, who was an expected candidate, has decided against standing for the CAF presidency and giving his backing to Motsepe instead. Pinnick went on to announce his intention to vie for a seat on the FIFA Council, finally concluding speculations as to his next move. South Africa Motsepe is the second candidate to announce in less than 4 October, but his ability to contest match selection is in doubt, given he is set to face a ban from football after being found to have breached various FIFA ethic codes. Emeka, I'm starting with you. A rather unexpected move from Patrice Motsepe. What does this mean for the CAF presidential race?
Well, it's a bit open now. We thought it was going to be a sole candidacy team for Ahmad after he was the first to declare his intention. Before then, the Tunisian official was blocked by their federation. Of course, you have to have the backing of your federation before you're able to even vie for the post. Your federation will give their blessing. And when Ahmad declared his intention, no other candidate was available. No other candidate had done so then. But just over the weekend, Jack Anuma, seasoned administrator in African football, make that global football if you also like it, because he has served in the FIFA Executive Council prior to this time. He also indicated interest in running for the CAF presidency while Issa Hayatou was still president of CAF, but he was blocked then by what he called a scandalous rule that executive committee, non-voting members of the executive committee cannot, contest for the presidency. But that rule has eventually changed, and he threw his hat into his ring over the weekend. Jack Kanuma, seasoned administrator, like I said earlier, he should be one of the candidates that will give Ahmad a run for his money. That's if Ahmad will eventually even contest the elections, because from what you read there, and there are strong indications that the man will be banned from football later this month. The announcement is expected anytime this month by FIFA, because they conducted a wide-ranging ethics investigation on the man, and they have found him guilty from what BBC understands. So let's wait and see. But come on, Mosepe throwing his hat into the ring, very rich man, no doubt. As a matter of fact, his wife is the elder sister of South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. That's to tell you where this man is coming from. Apart from the fact that he's the first black billionaire in South Africa, this man's sister is
well connected.
Money and power.
It's connected. He will have to step down anyway.
Champions League winners, and he's been in that post since 2004, 16 years now. So he's duly qualified there. You look at Mamelodi Sundowns, they are now the first to reckon with in African football. They used to be in South African
It's South African
football.
thing,
The Brazilians are now a force to reckon with in African football. The CAF draws today, they are not included in the preliminary round there. They are drawn by. They usually do well in the competition there. This man has managed the affairs of the club very well. He's very rich, and pretty much influential. Look at the comments coming from Danny Jordan, who I even expected to vie for the CAF presidency at some point, but he's giving his full backing to Mosepe. And I was watching the announcement earlier today, the live stream. Our owner Majupinik joined them via Zoom to give his full backing. He said, Mosepe is more qualified than himself, Pinnick. And the lady from Sierra Leone, the FA boss Isha Johansson, equally joined via Zoom, and the Botswana Football Federation did also lend their support to the man. So the man is getting support already from African countries. But let's not forget, Ahmad already had 46 members of CAF throwing their weight behind him. So 8 did not support him. Out of the 8, 4 are now with Mosepe. That's if you include SAFA, NFF, Sierra Leone FA, and Botswana. Then Cote d'Ivoire, the Jack Kanuma man should maybe get the other 3, the other 3, including his own federation. So let's see how it pans out. The race is sorting up. But like I did state earlier, from the look of things, it's been true. I think if the reports were getting the FIFA codes there, and he will be eventually thrown out of office, banned for football. But let's not forget, he has a channel, an avenue to even challenge whatever decision FIFA will come up with, the Court of Arbitration for Sports. So the drama is gradually unfolding, and luckily for us, our own Pinnick has finally finished his consultation and made a statement.
Chidubem, what does this competition mean for African football?
Well, it's quite a good one, because you have a man now in Motsepe, particularly Patrice, who has excelled in business, and not just in business, has also been able to put his nose into football and succeed with Mamelodi Sundowns. In 2004, he came in, and then look at the success of Mamelodi Sundowns since he came in. It's been huge returns when it comes to trophies and everything they've been able to achieve. It's not the oldest of clubs you can find in Africa, founded in 1971. That's younger than a lot of the most successful clubs we have in Africa. But come on, they've been able to equal the best achievements by Orlando Pirates on the continent, which is winning the CAF Champions League, becoming the second South African side to do that. And you look at that kind of a man, the fact that he's not coming with any dent on his personality, his integrity is also intact. Up there, it's intact. There's no,
and he's not hungry actually.
He's not coming as one of those who look like they want to come and siphon money or something, because ordinarily you would think he has all the money, so he wouldn't need the crumbs in quotes now. We are billions here in Africa, and you're number 10. So it feels like this is the man who wants to offer service, and because the other thing which would have been a motivation for the ordinary man like you and I would have been the money. But I don't think the money is going to be motivation.
What do you mean you and I? Do you know if I'm number 3 in Africa?
Well, if you would have known.
Well, Superman, I'm also aware that Burna Boy recently told us that Dangote still find money.
So it doesn't rule out.
The richest man in Africa is still looking for more money. He's still a refinery in Lagos, and he's still looking for more money. So it's never enough. And not to talk of the 10th richest man in Africa.
Oh yeah.
We are talking about the richest
Number
man in Africa,
one is
still looking for more money.
No, that was on the lighter note. But you look at the fact that he's coming from the business angle now. That's the Patrice Motsepe. And then there's another man who is coming from the angle of the experience in management, in administration. When it has to do with football administration, Motsepe doesn't have experience when it comes to administration in football. He's only an owner. That's something. When it comes to the politicking and everything, he's not a politician. He's not a football politician like the other man now, Jack. Jack has all the intellect when it comes to politicking, playing the dirty games, the behind the scenes, like Amaju Pinnick would know. You know, I think he was part of those that also orchestrated the downfall of the former president Issa Hayatou. So he knows how to play those games and play them dirty. So it's going to be a politician against a businessman, against idea. It's not like Jack wouldn't be coming in with ideas, but come on, I think in Africa, I hope money doesn't play a role. Because
if he plays a role, I feel both of them too. They have what it takes. Maybe one man is strong guy,
but we know where the money is. So someone out there might be thinking, well, this one Amaju Pinnick is shouting already. Well, let me know.
From what he's saying and what I said earlier, it looks like we are ruling out Ahmad already. But the man see, even if FIFA bans him today,
we can
appeal. Go to CAS. And who says he cannot win the case in CAS and still be eligible for the election in March next year? So let's wait and see. And I know that from the look of things, if those backings from the various federations, 46 of them for Ahmad to return, is anything to go by, then he's already the CAF president for another 4 years in office.
The politics I'm envisaging. Ahmad might just decide to no problem, I'm going. But I'm going to sell the people or channel my people towards a particular direction. And I hope you're thinking the direction I'm thinking you'll be pushing it. I'm not sure it will be
maybe in the coming weeks we'll find out. And the master said some time ago, Michel Obi, he said something very interesting, that the fact that we have 46 people coming out to pledge doesn't really mean it's going to go that way. And we know that, like it or leave it, money plays a huge role in African football.
No doubt.
So it just takes a matter of money's exchanging hands at the back, and before you know, the 46 will turn to 2 or 4.
They don't really put it that way. They say it's lobbying. They can lobby you. If you say money exchanging hands, it looks like they're corrupting. They are doing a bribery. They just lobby you over, and you change your mind.
All right, Emeka, let's come down to Nigeria now. Pinnick is now set to become a member, hopefully, if he wins, of the FIFA Executive Council. That's where he will be pitching his tent. He's not interested in fighting for the CAF thing now. Believes he's not as qualified as Patrice Motsepe. But Emeka, do you think it's a better opportunity for him, or an easier fight than maybe fighting for the presidency?
Well, the man told us about consultation hitherto, and
his wife has spoken.
After a wide-ranging consultation, he has come up with a position. Earlier today, he released a very long statement, to that effect, and the summary of it is that he will not be contesting for the CAF presidency. Like you did read earlier, he has now even thrown his weight behind Patrice Motsepe of South Africa for the CAF top job, while himself has formally declared his intention to vie for the FIFA Council. The FIFA Council has replaced the FIFA Executive Committee. It's an upgrade, so to say. It's also the highest decision-making body of the of FIFA. But it's now called the FIFA Council, and I think it's a 37-member council with 7 seats from Africa. He's vying for the post currently occupied by another African, a Guinean, Camara, and at the end of the day, he will be hoping to eventually get it done there. We know he is a close associate of the FIFA president Gianni Infantino, and he knows how to pull the strings in African football. You have to appreciate his rise when it comes to African football. I mean, from Delta State FA boss to NFF president, and at some point was even first vice president of CAF until he fell out with the president Ahmad. And we all know the role he played in the win of the Ahmad's victory in the election 3 years ago. How he was able to even bring FIFA president to Nigeria here in Abuja. Brought over 20 FA presidents in Africa, and that was how they plotted the fall of Issa Hayatou. The rest they say is history. So I hope he will be able to eventually get that seat there. Gradually he's getting into where it matters in global football. Let's not forget, Pinnick has the ambition of becoming FIFA president one day. He has said it in time past. If he gets a seat in FIFA Council, it's a
easier.
step closer to FIFA presidency.
That dream.
Africa has not produced a FIFA president before, but the man is gradually, working his way through the hierarchy of FIFA, and he's making the right contacts, and of course, he has the right connections. As a matter of fact, whether he has succeeded as an NFF president is a different story altogether. We know the controversy back home and the backlash and what have you, but going forward, I think he will even go further than what we saw of our own Amos Adamu in the past. Amos Adamu was a member of the FIFA Executive Committee, but that was it. His position was even banned from football at some point after the issues with bribery and racketeering and what have you. So, but I love the way Pinnick is moving when it comes to administration of football in Africa and the world at large right now.
All right. Well, we do wish them all the best. But before we leave this particular one, maybe talk about the one that looks like it's a developing story. MPFL, the Nigerian Professional Football League, might just be returning to, I won't say to your screens now, but might just have it making that full return we've been waiting for in December. But Emeka, just one name. Who do you think would get in at the end, or who do you want to get in? Patrice Motsepe, Ahmad, and Jack Anuma.
Wow. Superman, we have seen Ahmad already after about 3 years, and now by March next year, his 4 years, first 4 years time will be over. We have seen him already. He hasn't really lifted African football. I will borrow the words of Michel Obi. He hasn't done much for African football. It's obvious. His reign has been blighted with lots of controversies. For me, the Champions League final last year was just the height of it. After declaring Esperance champions, you had to order them to replay the competition. And at the end of the day, they had to even go to the Court of Arbitration for Sports to settle that matter. The CAF AFCON from May, June, now June, July, we are going back to January, February, and all that. We don't really know what we want. It looks like CAF is working without a clear-cut vision and direction. And we also remember FIFA coming to take over CAF at some point. The Secretary General, Fatma Samora, was head of CAF more or less for 6 months, while the body was in great turmoil. 2 CAF Secretary Generals resigned in quick succession in less than 2 years, and at the end of the day, I don't think this man has really done well. CAF competitions are no longer televised these days because Lagadia Sports, the marketer who broke out the deal, the TV right deal, pulled out of the deal after the Egyptian authorities found CAF guilty of not being transparent in the bidding process for the rights and what have you. So get into office, the whole thing changes. Take a look at the country right now. The president we have today, they came with the change mantra. What really changed 6 years down the line? Nothing has changed. Instead, things have worsened around the country. But that being said, I think perhaps I will go with Mosepe. Yes, I will go with Mosepe. Jack Anuma is one of those the old war horse under Hayatou, and he's seen it all. And at 68, I think he should be nearing retirement and not the kind of brain we need these days in African football.
Chidubem.
Definitely Patrice Motsepe. I'm a proponent of business. Successful men in business is taking over football and taking over sports, and it's worked elsewhere. I think it's going to work in football. If Abramovich could come in with all that passion into Chelsea and make it work, if Patrice Motsepe himself could go into Mamelodi Sundowns, a hitherto unknown quantity on the African continent, and brought them to the
and end on the 4th of July next year. And in fact, we have fixtures already. They've made the draws even before now. They made the draws all this while. And at the end of the day, the start fixture for match day 1 will be in Aba, hopefully between Enyimba and Abia Warriors. here in Port Harcourt, Stanley Gumas Rivers United will confront Rangers International. And there's also a derby game on the opening day in Uyo with Aqua United battling sister club Dakada FC. So those are some of the fixtures to expect on the opening day of the season on the 6th of December. Now, that date is subject to the official confirmation of the LMC themselves. I've checked through their website. That date, there's nothing there. You go to their Twitter handle, they haven't commented. But inside sources, inside sources, reliable ones at that, have reported that the league will commence on the 6th of December. So maybe by tomorrow it will be clearer.
I hope they check on the stadiums before the 6th.
They have already approved the 13 stadiums for the season.
If I tell you how many things I want them to check. Let's go for a short commercial break. Once we return, we'll be getting to hear from you, your thoughts on what we've talked about so far, especially concerning the new CAF president.
Bunda just gallant for inside midfield. Who did it for Bunda? That's Soto. Soto they run, they come like that's where they charge. Don't collect Nipa B. Shot from Barituka. Go. Barituka don't damn it. Barituka.
Port Harcourt, gear up as the city will rumble one last time in 2020. Yes, 16 teams do battle in the inaugural Port Harcourt Football League starting on 10th of November 2020. Talented young stars, top-notch skills, passion unbridled. Oh, God of soccer. Join us at the Joseph Yobo Mini Stadium, Igboku Pitch, D-Line. COVID-19 protocols will be observed. No gate fee, no VAR, pure footballing fun. Port Harcourt Football League, our city, our football. This is endorsed by the River State Football Association.
Welcome back. The show is still Today Sports Live, reaching you from the studios of our Premium News Talk and Sports radio station. And before we went on that short break, we talked about tennis. Daniil Medvedev was triumphant in Paris, but it was not the same story for Rafael Nadal and Alexander Zverev, who he beat in the final. We talked about CAF. Yes, we might just be getting the 10th richest man in Africa as president of CAF, as he has entered the race, with our owner managing him or supporting him. We also have Jacques Anouma, experienced through the FIFA for the first time under Zinedine Zidane. Lucas Vázquez and Sergio Ramos were penalized for handling the ball inside the box, either side of Marcelo being punished for bringing down Gomez. Courtois kept out the first penalty before it was retaken because of encroachment. I was also beaten by Rafael Varane own goal in Sunday's clash. Soler is the first player to score 3 penalties in a single La Liga game this century. But Courtois claimed Madrid were hard done by, particularly with the second spot kick. A quick look at the results. SD Huesca did play at a 1-1 draw with Eibar. Barcelona did beat Real Betis 5-2. Sevilla beat Osasuna by 1-0. Atletico Madrid did beat Cadiz 4-0. Getafe lost to Villarreal by 1-3. Real Sociedad did beat Granada 2-0. Levante played at 1-1 draw with Deportivo Alaves. Real Valladolid did beat Athletic Bilbao 2-1. Valencia did beat Real Madrid 4-1. Emeka, it looks like the Barcelona side are beginning to understand Ronald Koeman, or maybe he's beginning to finally get his tactics right.
It's just one win. It's just one win. Remember, this Barca side struggled for points. I think they went 4 games even without a win, and they didn't look impressive in those matches, save for the Champions League encounter, indecent results in recent times.
All right. Well, we'll look at that table now. Real Sociedad, the team that I'm really scared of this season. They are leading the league table with 20 points from 9 games played. Villarreal are second with 18 points from 9 games played. Madrid, that's Atletico Madrid, are third with 17 points from 7 games played, while Real Madrid are fourth with 16 points from 8 matches. Barcelona are 8th with 11 points from 7 games. Okay, let me come to you, Chidubem. Real Madrid. I mean, VAR has has taught us one thing. Today it goes your way, tomorrow it might go my way. We've heard, there's a theory or conspiracy theory or arrangement to make sure Real Madrid remain champions of the La Liga. But 3 penalties in one game. I mean, you can't say the VR is working for them.
Well, people always say what they want to say, especially fans. We know that when it comes to being a fan of a club, it comes with so many emotions, and these conspiracy theories will keep flying around. But come on, yesterday was some schoolboy errors from some of the defenders. Sergio Ramos, I wonder what he was thinking. If it wasn't going to be a penalty for, grappling the body of an opposing player, it was going to be a handball. And it was shambolic from him, to say the least. Captain of the side, he shouldn't be making those kind of errors. But just a bad night for Real Madrid, conceding 4 goals for the first time under Zidane. Is quite disgraceful for Real Madrid. They've been posting some rather shameful results, this period. You can't forget in a hurry that loss to Shakhtar Donetsk, even if they're not playing at the Santiago Bernabeu, which is currently undergoing reconstruction. But I don't think that's enough excuse. This time around, they went to the Mestalla to play Valencia, and a team that you're used to getting good results against. I expected that game to be a win for Real Madrid based on the results they normally get against this Valencia side, but somehow it wasn't to be good results for the Valencia side. This time around, 3 penalties. They will count on that as part of the luck they had. But if you didn't put in the good work, if you didn't attack, you were not going to get 3 penalties. And it's because they attacked, they got those 3 penalties, and definitely had to put 3 of them to bed. Congratulations to Sola there, the first man to do that in over a century. So it's good one for Valencia, bad one for Real Madrid, although they still find themselves somewhere 5th on the table, and with 16 points, just 4 behind the table toppers now, Real Sociedad, and they've played 2 less games, or 1 less game now than Real Sociedad. So they will still fancy their chances over the run of the league. Still many games to be played. 30 games, as a matter of fact, for Real Madrid to be played this season. So it's a long way to go.
All right, neatly, Zlatan Ibrahimovic will use the forthcoming international break to restore his usual sharpness and determination in front of goal following an action-packed contribution to Milan's 2-2 draw with Hellas Verona on Sunday. The 39-year-old salvaged a point for the Serie A leaders with a stoppage time header after an own goal from Giangiacomo. That one nearly caught my tongue. Magnani had halved the deficit following Antonin Barak and Mattea Zaccagni's early goals for Verona. Prior to his equalizer, Ibrahimovic missed his 3rd penalty of the season and was adjudged to have handled in the build-up to David Calabria effort that was ruled out. The former LA Galaxy forward managed just 3 shots on target from a huge total of 14, and with a muted Sweden return not coming to pass, will now use the next fortnight to his benefit. A quick look at the results. Cagliari did beat Sampdoria 2-0. Benevento lost to Spezia 0-3. Parma Calcio did play at a goalless draw with Fiorentina. Lazio did play at a 1-1 draw with Juventus. Ronaldo scoring, but was not enough really, and he limped out of that one. Atalanta also played at a 1-1 draw with Internazionale do Milano. Genoa did lose to AS Roma by 1-3. And Bologna did lose to SSC Napoli, with the assassin being that man, Victor Osimhen, getting the only goal in the 23rd minute for the Partenopei. Torino played at a goalless draw with Crotone. And as I told you earlier, AC Milan did play at a 2-2 draw with Hellas Verona. A quick look at the table right there in Italy. We have the league leaders remaining AC Milan, who have got 17 points from 7 games played. I think it's 7 games across all centers. So 17 points for AC Milan. Sassuolo are second with 15 points. SSC Napoli are third with 14 points. Roma fourth with 14 points. Juve are fifth with 13 points. I'll start with you, Chidubem. It was not going to be a very easy game against Lazio for Juventus, but did you expect better from the side?
Yes, I did, definitely. You have to make a statement when you're playing against a side like Lazio, because it's one of those games that could decide the season. When you play against those big boys, you need to get the result. And for the Juve side that has been struggling the whole season, for Andre Pirlo as well, these are the kind of victories that lifts your spirit as a coach and gives you the feeling that you're getting it right as a manager. We know what that victory against Manchester United would have done to Arteta and whatever his project is for Arsenal. And of course, that one for Ronald Koeman now for Barcelona against Juve, winning that game in the Champions League. So these games would have helped to bolster his confidence. But unfortunately, it didn't work out this time. And it's not like Lazio are one of those pushover sides. It was going to be difficult, like you said. But good one, they were able to get the injury. The bad news from that one would be that Cristiano Ronaldo went out limping. And I hope he gets back fit on time to be able to return for that all-important clash against Barcelona at the Nou Camp, because they've lost the first leg already in Turin when they lost 3-1. So this time around, I think they'll be counting on him to get back to Spain and get the job done. But unfortunately, they couldn't get the result this time against Lazio. 1-1, all eyes right now on Andrew Pello.
All right, a quick look at the results in the Bundesliga. Augsburg did lose Hertha Berlin by 0-3. Mainz 05 did play at 12 draw with Schalke 04. RB Leipzig beat Freiburg 3-0. Union Berlin beat Arminia Bielefeld 5-0. VfB Stuttgart did play at 12 draw with Eintracht Frankfurt. Borussia Dortmund lost to Bayern Munich 2-3. Wolfsburg did beat Hoffenheim 2-1. Bayer Leverkusen they beat Borussia Mönchengladbach by 4-3. In the French league, Bordeaux lost to Montpellier 0-2. PSG did beat Rennes 3-0. Brest did beat Lille 3-2. Lens did play at a 4 draw. That's 4-4 with Reims. Lorient did lose to Nantes 2-0. Metz did play at a 1 draw with Dijon. Nîmes lost to Angers by 1-5. Nice lost to Monaco by 1-2. Lyon did beat Saint-Étienne by 2-1. All right, the phone lines opened again. 0817 0000951, 0810 9510951. Don't forget, you can join us on Twitter at TodayFM951, at TodayFM94. You can copy Emeka. His handle is at Dena Emeka, and my handle is at Wisdom_OB. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Albert. Welcome to the show.
I want to talk about the La Liga table. I'm so surprised the way the league is going over there in La Liga. And before you could know, I think La Liga will produce a different new champion. The dominant of Real Madrid and Barcelona and the Atletico Madrid. So now I think somebody may sneak in there and become a champion.
All right.
See how Madrid is messing up over there, and they're conceding 4-1 to Valencia. And it has been a long time ago. They conceded that kind of goal when they play Valencia in the league. And though Valencia is a very strong side, and I know it can happen to anybody under normal circumstances because of some of the players they lost in the team. And that's why they felt 1-4 to Valencia. So I think they should go back to the drawing and see what they can do to climb back to the table.
All right, Abba, thank you so much for your thoughts. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon. Sorry, we lost that one. Do call us back if you can. We have some messages coming through Chidubem.
Yeah, on the WhatsApp platform, this one is saying, good afternoon to you all. I'm not surprised with the Madrid loss. As for Arsenal game, I'm surprised with the loss. I hope my team FCB, that's FC Barcelona, I'm sure, continue with this form. That's from Skifu Peru from Eche. And this other one says, after everything, we can't get it right. Arsenal has played 8 times, losing 4, winning 4. So bad for Arteta. All I can say is that the Arsenal still needs Ozil. I can't wait for MPFL to start. You guys didn't tell us anything about Super Eagles. Up Eyimba Sachima from Rumaholu.
We have tomorrow. We'll definitely have a lot of time for that one. And I got some messages from Twitter.
There's the breaking news from Cairo, regarding the CAF Champions League. Eyimba,
the draw has been made.
Yes, Eyimba and Plateau United now know their opponents in the preliminary round of the competition. Our own Eyimba will be playing against Rahimo FC. That name is a
regular customer.
Eyimba beat them 5-0 in Aba in the second leg of their preliminary round fixture last year and advanced 5-1 on aggregate. For Plateau United, the other Nigerian team in the Champions League, they will be playing Simba of Tanzania. Superman, Simba are a massive side. When it comes to African football these days, they haven't won the Champions League, but if you see what they are doing domestically, you think they will give Plateau United a very good,
very good run
for their money. They were involved in the derby with Yanga just a few days ago, and it was massive. But let's see how it pans out. About the breaking news: Enyimba versus Rahimo, Plateau United taking on Simba in the preliminary round of the CAF Champions League.
Today's Sports Live. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. This is Asna Babatu from Abuja East.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, I want to confirm something. Rivers Age, they got academy.
No, I know of.
They no get.
They no get.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very
You
much.
get person who want play? All right. Well, the phone line still open 0817-0000951, 0810-951-0951. And as you heard, Enyimba Rahimo, Simba versus Plateau United.
Well, Chelsea Plumber is greeting. He says, good day at the Halo. Greetings, guys, at the Halo. And this other one here is saying, good afternoon, Wisdom, and the entire members of the sports crew. My name is Jude from Alakaya. Please, what was wrong with Arsenal? I am yet to recover from the shock. Well, my brother, I'm yet to recover as well.
Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Another last one.
Welcome.
Yeah. Arsenal again. After 14 years, they are celebrating. Those people, I don't know. They say party after party. Nah, not better. Yeah. They will see something. They never see anything now.
All right. All right, United Lasmos. Thank you so much for your thought. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon. Hey, Simon, welcome to the show.
I'm not there for that, Simon. Please don't see. Please, I want to beg you, all of you, please. Most of the fans.
Speak up. We can hear. Just speak up. We are here.
Most of the fans, especially like me and some other one that I knew. People should try to. He have been doing it before, but these days now giving fans, they call us just little few, maybe 5 minutes, calling, and we cannot contribute anything. So please, we should just, just adjust again.
Okay.
So we have been doing it before. We love it like that, and now, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Simon, for your thought. But the phone lines have been open now. Or I think after talking about African football, I kept it open for like 10 minutes before we moved on to Europe. Today's Sports Live, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you all there.
Stella West, welcome.
Thank you. Amaju Pinnick is going for FIFA executive member.
FIFA Council.
Yeah, okay. It's like executive member now. Okay. I think he's just going there to play politics. He has no administrative idea at all. At all, he has not. I think what he should do is to go for that CAF president. Let us see how he can pilot that affair. Nigeria has not gotten there before. Right. So I think that he should contest for that FIFA presidency. Okay. For Enyimba, I had the opponent they are to play. I think Rivers United could have been the better people to play that. I'm telling you.
You're talking as a fan.
Your bad belly no get part 2.
Okay, well, that's where we'll draw the curtains on today's Sports Live. Thank you so much for your time. I'm sure tomorrow we'll have enough time for the Enyimba and Rivers United.
And the LPFL resumption.
Exactly. But Chidubem was here.
The Super Eagles.
The Super Eagles, exactly. Emeka Denatu was here. My name is Wisdom Obina. The show makes a return same time, same station tomorrow. But before that, we have Sports Attack. That comes up by 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Until then, stay safe.
The big stories break. Depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt. News update.
Good evening. Here is the news update at 4 on Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. I am Kala Da Kuribatabo. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu has handed over his duties as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Yakubu handed over the leadership mantle to an INEC National Commissioner, Air Vice Marshal Azu Ahmed, at an event held at the headquarters of the Electoral Umpire in Abuja. Ahmed will act in that capacity pending when the Senate confirms the reappointment of Professor Yakubu as INEC chairman. Professor Yakubu was reappointed by President Muhammadu Buhari after serving a tenure of 5 years. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the National Youth Service Corps to ensure the enrollment of corps members in the National Health Insurance Scheme. This was disclosed by the Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Shaibu Ibrahim, during the briefing in Abuja. The NYSC DG also assured that the NYSC has expanded resources for the critical health needs of corps members, adding that the Corps has concluded arrangements with the NHIS for the enrollment of corps members into the National Insurance Scheme in line with a presidential directive. The prospective corps members and course officials are also mandated to undergo the COVID-19 test before admission into the orientation camp set to reopen tomorrow. President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the disposal of all federal government forfeited assets within the next 6 months. The Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, disclosed this during the inauguration of a 22-member inter-ministerial committee on the disposal of the federal government of Nigeria's forfeited assets. The minister said the committee has a time frame of 6 months for the disposal of all federal government forfeited assets. He added that President Buhari approved the composition of the committee, which is headed by the Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary Federal Ministry of Justice, Dayo Apata, since October 27. The Attorney General said the core mandate of the committee was to ensure the expedient disposal of all forfeited assets to generate revenue for the federal government. Ogonis have asked the federal government to halt the ongoing construction. Ogoni coordinating has been constructed by the federal government to lock up Ogonis who are opposed to the planned resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land. However, it's seen United States President-elect Joe Biden is to make tackling the coronavirus pandemic a top priority following his win over Donald Trump. Announcing the first step in his transition plan, his team said there would be more testing and Americans would be asked to wear masks. Biden is expected to name a 12-member coronavirus task force today. Trump has yet to concede, and Biden's win remains a projection as key states are still counting votes. However, the Democrat is forging ahead with his plan for assuming power in January after major U.S. networks called the election in his favor on Saturday. And that was the news update at 4 p.m. and Today 95.1 FM. Do not forget, please take responsibility. Wash your hands on the regular with soap on the running water. Always have with you at all times alcohol-based and sanitized. 19 is real. However, it is not a death sentence. Good evening. I am Kala Dakuribatabo. Stay tuned. The platform on radio is up next.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today, 95.1 FM.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
It all begins with breaking news.
Now, make no mistake, this is a difficult mission, and it will remain difficult for some time.
Then it keeps trending. Events, issues, personalities, all struggling to gain attention. But in the race for deadlines, the intrigues, power play, undercurrents are often missed or underreported.
Insecurity here is basically a product of poverty.
But not anymore. As the platform on radio steps in to fill the missing links on events, issues, and personalities in the news.
We're not afraid of anybody. Yeah!
The platform on radio serves only the hottest topics and trending issues. Only on Today 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM.
Port Harcourt. Every weekday at 4 p.m. Get on the platform on radio and be served.
All stand, greet.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. You're welcome to Jagbajantis High School. My name is Sound Sultan, your new mathematics teacher. By the way, do you understand Pidgin English? Yes, sir. Okay, now what we go use henceforth? Okay, carry your pen. Carry your paper. Them for my class. People of this world, them plenty. The sins of this people, many. So many. Many times plenty, multiplier. Many times plenty, multiplier. Multiply the answer you get now waiting, they make poor man they cry. The answer you get now waiting, they make rich man they mess and leaders they lie. The answer you get now waiting, they make young boys and girls join party gang. Answer you get now waiting, they make innocent man rot inside the jail. Get it, and then agree to grant and bail. Get it, oh. Everybody, oh yeah, join Jamba-Jantis, make we solve mathematics. We did our continent, so Oyinbo say about mass, we go use take solve mathematics. So follow Jamba-Jantis. So ya carry by be for brotherhood. Love your neighbor as yourself, oh for objectivity. Be objective, D for democracy. Democracy. Now M for modification. Of our behavior, let's stand to the savior. A, accountability. If you've been a chop money, I beg you take them easy. S for solidarity. Not every time divided, oh my shell. We enter new millennium. Nigerians like 120 million. One population of 6 billion. 6 billion. Divide that 1 by 120 million all together. Oh yeah. All together. The answer you get now waiting, they make people they jar. Come on for Niger. Answer you get now waiting, they make people want travel. By hook or by crook. The answer you get now waiting, they make people they sleep for embassy, for visa. Answer you get now waiting, they make people they sell the property for ticket. Get it, get it. Then the travel see. Get it. Oh, hey. Everybody, oh yeah, join Jamba-Jantis. We solve mathematics. We did about our continent. So, Oyinbo say, na partners, we go use take solve mathematics. So follow Jamba-Jantis. So ya carry by be for brotherhood. Love your neighbor as yourself, oh for objectivity. Be objective, gentleman, lady. Be for democracy. No matter how high it is, the better military. M for modification. Of our behavior, turn to the savior. A, accountability. If you've been a chop money, I beg you take them easy. S for solidarity. United we stand and divided. Oh my shell. You just the HSCity. Shut it down. And there's the VG City. The answer you get now waiting, they make poor man depressed. But then aggress. The answer you get now waiting, they make poor man they try to keep up with the Joneses. Answer you get now waiting, they make poor man begin. They try to prove a limit. Get it, get it. Never get money done, they finish. Get it, get it. Oh, yeah. Everybody, oh yeah, join Jamba-Jantis. We solve mathematics. We did about our continent. So, Oyinbo say, the partners, we go use take
Situation in this nation, disposition, our condition, unexplainable pain in our hearts, not to mention brothers killing brothers for patience, salvation. Resolutions are made, but always made with lack of vision. Imperfection is the order as we keep seeking solutions. Only God can solve this mathematical equation.
Thanks for your contribution. Now, any more questions?
Good evening to you, portion of the Platform Radio on your premium talker radio station today, 95.1 FM Port Harcourt. I am Kalada, and my job right about now is very simple. It's to bring your way the trending news stories, allow you understand one or two things about those trending stories, and yet again allow you to air your views. But before you even get a chance to air your views, we will also be listening to correspondent reports, because the Platform Radio is that program where we don't just look at trending stories like in other radio programmings. The platform is, structured in a way where, for instance, we're talking about, a trending story, but then again, we have our correspondents on ground getting to get the main details, the full details of what the trending story is about. So they tell us what is happening, where it is happening, why it is happening, how it is happening, and we get to be fed with the complete details, with the complete information. And then we talk from a point of knowledge. And perhaps, just perhaps, you get to hear what is not entirely in the news. You stick around for a beat, and I'll bring your way what is on the menu for today. Good evening once again. to Igbo ethnic nationality. And finally on the menu, President Muhammadu Buhari orders enrollment of NYSC members into the National Health Care Insurance Scheme. Now let's kickstart conversations without further ado. All right, Ogonis have asked the federal government to hold the ongoing construction of a prison facility and a cemetery on Ogoni land. The coordinating committee of the 25th Memorial of Ogoni Martyrs made the demand in a media briefing held in commemoration of the November 10 Heroes Day. Now, Beneme Pai, who spoke on behalf of the committee, said the prison facility has been constructed by the federal government to lock up Ogonis who are opposed to the planned resumption of oil exploration in Ogoni land.
An illustrious son, Ken Saro-Wiwa, confronted the Nigerian government and Shell against the political marginalization, economic strangulation, and environmental degradation of the Ogoni land. Mossop and the Ogoni people call on the federal government of Nigeria, currently led by President Mohamed Buhari, to exonerate Ken Saro-Wiwa and 8 others. Now, stop the construction of a federal prison and cemetery in Ogoni, as we have been informed that this prison is to lock up Ogonis who demand justice.
Another member of the committee, Celeste Nakpobari, insisted that the federal government must address the Ogoni matter like they did with June 12. Listen.
So the government is up to something that they are not telling us, because when this country returned to democracy in 1999, 2 issues were at stake: the June 12 and the Ogoni matter. You all know that the June 12 issue has been tactically handled. In fact, in that 1999, the government, through their consultation with political parties, ensured that all political parties fielded Yoruba candidates. Recently, President Buhari took some steps in further addressing, the pains of the Yoruba people by immortalizing MK Abiola. He was awarded the highest, honor in the land, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic. So what has happened to the Ogoni people? Is it that there is no good thing in the world that the Ogoni people should see?
Ken Saro-Wiwa, John Kuinen, Barinem Kiobel, Felix Noate, Saturday Dobe, Nordu Iao, and Pile Levura, Daniel Boko, and Baribo Bera were all murdered by military decree on November 10, 1993. Okay. The conversation is that, sorry about that noise. The conversation is that federal government is building and we don't want it. We don't want it. This is the Ogoni people. This is the people from Ogoni talking, and we don't want it. You cannot build. How? No. You want to come and arrest us and put us in prison because we said no to oil exploration. And the question then before us is, anything wrong with building a correctional center in anywhere in the country, including all the communities that make up Ogoni? And it's like this. It's like the narrative during the lockdown, or when COVID-19, was beginning to gain momentum in Nigeria, and there was the sighting of the isolation center in one of the communities here in Rivers State. They want to come and give us COVID-19. They want to come and spread it. What do you make of this call? And secondly, should the federal government also exonerate late Ken Saro-Wiwa from the crimes he was falsely accused of committing or of having committed? I'd like to hear from you. 0817 000 0951 and 0810 9510 951. Text messages to the number 0701 933 996. Now remember, 2 questions or 3 questions have been put out there for you to try to answer. Number 1, is anything wrong with building correctional centers formerly known as prison yards, in any part of the country, including, of course, Ogoniland. Then we went on to ask the question, should the federal government exonerate late Ken Saro-Wiwa from the crimes he was falsely accused of committing? And then, of course, generally, what do you make of the call? Don't build it in our land. You want to come and shackle our people. First caller for the evening. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Kalada, good evening.
Good evening to you.
This is Comrade Takemai.
Take your mind then. Take your mind.
Kalada, Father.
I'm good. Let's use the time. We don't have much time.
Yeah, Kalada, you see, what I want to say about this matter, I think federal government should know the need of people before doing things for them now.
Okay.
You should know what the people need now.
Okay.
That is the most important thing. That is what we are clamoring for. Somebody may not be needing Gary. You went and carry water and give the person to drink.
So what do you think the Ogoni people or the Ogonis need at this time so that government can give to them?
What Ogonis need is the cleanup that the country has.
But the federal government is working in the federal government is working in it.
We have not seen the impact now in Ogoni now. So Ogoni people are still crying. So many things are wrong in Ogoni. I think they should still put some things in order now, not only the cleaning the road. There are so many things they promise them. I think Ogoni environment should be put in order.
All right.
First. It's not by starting by something that don't have meaning.
All right.
Huh?
All right.
Port here we have prison. Now another one in Ogoni. Before you know, the whole river state will become prison.
All right. Then.
If the people what they need, please, Kalada. That is what the government.
All right. Then. Thank you very much for calling in there. Talk your mind, and he has talked. He has spoken his mind. I was going to use the vernacular there. 95.1 FM.
Hello, Canada. Good evening. My name is Stephen Bume, calling from a community in Ogoniland.
All right, then. Welcome.
Canada, I don't know the offense that the Ogoni people commit to deserve all this pain and tears. Do you know, just for Canada local government, we have over 200 and something villages for one local government?
200
villages for one local government.
Okay.
Ghana alone supposed to be like 3 local government, and they are talking about the prison yard. Please, we don't want it.
All right.
Please, we don't want it.
All right then. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Another person, but you didn't tell me what you want or what the Ogonis want. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from? I can hear you. Are you shouting from inside of the well? I can hear you. Hello? Sorry, please do call us back. I can hear you. 95.1 FM. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hello, Kalada. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. It's more like evening now. Good evening to you.
My name is Levi.
All right, Levite, welcome.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to have gotten through with you.
Quickly, use your time well then. Quickly, please.
Okay. The insensitive federal government is adding salt to already injured Ogonis. By extension, the rivers people. Let Ken Saro-Wiwa had 30 good days to appeal his conviction. Within the next second, life was not opting. And now you want to build prison yard. Let us call it with the correct name. What is correctional center? And the cemetery.
All right.
Every right-thinking human being knows that with that, they get you, kill you, bury you there. Is that how to run a country?
So now that you've brought this up, should we exonerate Ken Saro-Wiwa, or rather?
Of course!
Okay.
He was not allowed to exhaust the 30 days by law to appeal the kangaroo judgment. So what are we talking about?
All All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling in. Remember, we will revisit this very conversation towards the tail end of the show. But the questions, yet again, I need to sound them again. The questions are, is anything wrong with building a correctional center in any part of the country, including Ogoniland? We also are asking you, what do you make of the calls of the Ogonis who have said, hey guys, I know what this is all about. You're trying to build it so you can incarcerate our people, and we will say no to that. But let's move on to the next conversation, because we are approaching the bottom of the hour. And this conversation says Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has declared that the state will continue to be home to people of the Igbo ethnic nationality. Interesting, right? The report goes on to say Governor Wike gave the assurance during a meeting with Southeast governors, the leadership of Wanese Indigbo, and the Igbo community in the state at Government House, Port Harcourt. The governor said in the wake of the Oibo crisis, people peddled the rumor that he's chasing Igbos out of River State, which is not true, because the state has an enduring relationship with the Igbos. I'll be getting your reactions shortly, but listen to what the governor had to say.
But I will never allow criminals to operate in my state. I will not allow criminals to operate in my state. Nobody should give Igbo people a bad name. Igbos are very entrepreneurial. Igbos are very innovative. There cannot be Nigeria without Igbos. There cannot be Nigeria without Igbos. I have traveled everywhere in the north. There's nowhere I went to the north where you cannot find Igbo people. And so nobody should take Igbo people for granted. But that does not mean we must allow criminals to give us a bad name.
All right, on his part, the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum and governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, who led the delegation, warned Igbos to be wary of the indigenous people of Biafra because the group is trying to instigate another civil war. Underline that one now. He said they were in River State to ascertain the veracity of the news circulating in the social media space over alleged killing of Igbo people living in the state. Listen.
We can claim here as your leaders back home that all we read in the social medias from your own account are all lies. Because we did not come to verify your claims. You did not report to us. I have lived in Rivers State for a very long time. My 6 children out of 7 were all born here in Rivers State. We have never had any form of discrimination here. We've never had. And we must call, a spade a spade. It is very important. We have 11.5 million Igbos living in the north. We have 3 million Igbos that are voting age in Lagos State. Not to talk about other parts of this country. And somebody wants to start a war for us so that the Igbos will be slaughtered. During the Civil War, we lost 3 million Igbos. Most of them were killed when they were running away from the north back to southeast. Everywhere you go in this country, you see our infrastructure. Think about the percentage of infrastructure of Ndibo in Lagos and in Abuja. Who brings war upon himself?
All right, do you think the Igbo leaders should have visited Oibo to at least hear from the horse's mouth, as they say in England, the horse's mouth? Do you think the Southeast governors should have, or did they? I stand to be corrected. Do you think they should have? I did. Maybe they should have as well. At least to hear from the people living and doing business in Oibo, to really ascertain, because they said they came to ascertain the veracity of the comments on social media. All right, over to you. What do you make of it? What do you make of the visit in the first place? What do you make of the governor's statement? What do you make of coming to verify but not going to the actual place where every of the imbroglio happened? 0817 000 0951 and 0810-951-0951. Your text messages, of course, to the number 0701-933-9962. Remember, we still have one more conversation, and then we'll do the wrap-up or the roundup, and we talk about everything together. That's towards the end of the show. But for now, let's talk about Governor Wike entertaining, accommodating the Igbos in River State. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you. Brian from Remy, but welcome.
Thank you. Do I think the governor should have visited Oyibo?
Not necessarily the governor, the governors.
The governors, yes. No, I don't think so. Why? They do not have the right to visit Oyibo. Ebonyi State Governor, Abia State Governor, Imo State, Anambra, Enugu, visiting Oyibo in River State to hear from people, to do investigation. It's unconstitutional. They do not have the power. The only place they have to visit was River State Governor. And if you are
no, Mr. Bright, don't get the question wrong. Now, yes, you visit the governor. Of course, he is the one in charge of the state. You pay, and then you ask him. Since you guys are colleagues of some sort, you ask him, can we? After all, when the mosque, that was said to have been destroyed by the River State government was trending sometime, was it last year, early this year? What's his name? Ekiti State Governor was taken to that area. He was taken on a road trip, so to say. So that should have been done for the Southeast governors as well. Or you don't think so?
You asked a question. If they were to go and see the level of damage, if they requested that from the governor, okay, the governor can take them. They are only going to see what happened in that place. The governor would have taken them. But if they were to go and then ask the people to get their own facts, they do not have that right. It's not their state.
Okay.
If they want to get the facts, there are security agencies here. There is a governor here. If they ask the governor and the governor gives them first-hand information and they are not satisfied because they feel something more must have happened, they will report to the federal government, who has unfettered access to every part of Nigeria to investigate what happened. But for them going to Oyibo to ask people there what really happened, what really transpired in another person's state, because that is the sole responsibility of River State government.
All right, then.
And under River State governor. So if they're not comfortable with the governor gave them, they do not have the right to go for that. And that is why they didn't even bother that.
All right, then. Thank you very much for calling in. 95.1 FM, what's your name? Where are you calling in from? Yes. Noble from HA. Or from Elios, rather. From Elios. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Just like he what is in my mind about the mobs that happened. So when these guys, people were killed because they are hard, they are killing Igbo people. Is it in government house where they went? Is it that they are killing them? Is it in the government house that I will find out?
Who gave the security report?
Who gave the
security report? Who came and announced that IPOP has been banned?
Of course, it's federal government for the first time.
I'm talking about, come on now, we're talking about Oyibo, we're talking about Yam River State. Who came to visit the governor? And moreover,
He's supposed to meet them, but why not hear from your people? He came for the safety of your people.
You're still not getting the point. You still cannot do that without, maybe, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yes. You came from the southeast. You need to hear from your people. You have met governor. Why not even to ask about your people? Where are they?